Should people be afraid of the market correction in Milton?
I personally think no. You are right now at a very good opportunity. I think it's a very good opportunity if you are an investor or if you're a first-time home buyer. It's a great opportunity right now to invest. Right. I always keep bringing this saying from the Warren Buffett saying that you gotta be um, greedy when everybody's fearful. Cop called me and said, "Hey, you know what? I want to get into real estate." I had a nurse call me and said, "Hey, I want to get real estate. This is 12-hour shifts I'm doing. I hate it absolutely." So if you hate your job or the conditions that you're working in, and you want to transition into a real estate career, definitely DM me, call me, and we can have that discussion and how I can help you transition.
Hi, I'm Alec, and you are watching the Canadian Real Estate Channel. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fantastic guest for you today, Waiz, and he's going to tell us all about the market trends in Milton and why you should consider buying and selling in Milton. Waiz, how are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm great. I'm doing well. I know for the last couple of months I was away without the stats, so I'm back with the stats, and let's see how the market is in Milton is doing with the current trend in the market of and with the interest rates going up. Let's see how Milton is holding up.
Absolutely. And when you say back with the stats, what kind of relationship do you have with statistics? Is it true that you worked in IT?
Yes. I worked in IT for about 14 years, and I came back to sales, which was my passion, I guess. And now I'm doing what I love. I am in real estate, and we'll soon talk about more stuff that's been happening with me and the office as soon as I'm done the stats.
All right, let's dive in.
So guys, welcome again to the Milton updates. So Milton house prices right now are averaging $1.1 million. Now, how it has changed over the year is like year over year, it's still a 4.2% increase year over year. However, monthly change, we are down 5.7% from last month, and from last quarter, we are down 10.4%. Okay, so this is a little bit of the effect that you have seen with the market shift, for market shifting from the seller's market to a more normal market, and now shifting towards more of a buyer's market. Okay.
Should people be afraid of the market correction in Milton?
I personally think no. You are right now at a very good opportunity. I think it's a very good opportunity if you are an investor or if you're a first-time home buyer. It's a great opportunity right now to invest. Right. I always keep bringing this saying from the Warren Buffett saying that you gotta be greedy when everybody's fearful. Right. And most people are greedy when everybody's greedy. Right. So right now everybody's fearful, and they're not doing anything. There's no action happening. The buyers are sitting on the sideline and on waiting for things to go, like prices to fall even further, which could be a possibility. But then you need to understand that the rates are going up, right? So July 13th, we had a rate hike of 1%. Okay, so Bank of Canada has already decided that they are going to be having two more rate hikes. Now that could be 0.5% or zero point 0.5 and 0.25%. We don't know, right? So if the rates go up again, so you are paying higher in interest, right? Even if the price has gone down a little bit, you're paying more in interest. So it's better to get it now with a lower interest and lock it in, for 5 years, right? And the thing is, this is not like crypto or stocks that you're going to buy today and sell tomorrow, right? You're going to stay there. If it's your primary home, at least you're going to stay there for 3 to 5 years, right? And believe me, in 3 to 5 years, a lot could change. And historically, what we have seen in Canada is that real estate has always gone up and held its value, right? It's a very good opportunity to buy. Your thoughts on this?
From Toronto and Monstera Brokerage, and she was saying that real estate is like a yo-yo on an escalator.
Wow. I think that describes it well.
As an investor, I think that there's an opportunity to make money in any market, and it's really important to work with someone such as yourself to get the data from that market, get your accurate numbers, right? We don't have a crystal ball. We can't predict the future. Yes, we knew there was a market correction coming. We didn't know when. We don't know how extreme it's going to be. But like after you see house prices rise like they did in the past couple years, it was inevitable. So I agree. There's no reason for people to be fearful, but they are, unless they're talking to someone like yourself, where you're saying this is an opportunity for you to be greedy or take advantage of the situation.
Take advantage of. And I'll show you the reason why, right? Once you get into the stats, I'll show you the reason why. So in Jan, as you can see right here, Jan, Feb, March, okay, average house was selling at 1.4 million, and that was the average. Okay, so of course, houses were selling at 1.7, 1.8 on the higher side. So the average house was selling at 1.4 million in Milton, and now the average is 1.1, and not even that right now. Okay, so obviously it's an opportunity, obviously, right? And with regards to numbers, we are still selling. I mean, it's sometimes we get the feeling that, oh, you know what, nothing is happening, but we've sold 14 condos, 45 townhouses, and 51 detached homes in Milton in this last month, right? So there is activity happening, and let's go on to a little bit more of the stats on the detached segment right here. The starting segment is the 3-bedroom homes, typically with one garage and either 2.5 or 3 washrooms. It's at 1.2 million. Year to year is a -4 change, but the same house used to sell for 1.4 million just 3 months ago, right? So just imagine that, 6 months ago, 1.4 million, 3 months ago, 1.4 million. Now you're getting a discount of $200,000.
Absolutely.
So there you go. With the next one, 4-bedroom. Generally, these are 4-bedroom homes, 2-car garages, up to 3 to 4 washrooms. Right now at 1.4 million. Okay, same house 3 months ago, 1.7 million. 6 months ago, 1.6 million. You are getting a discount here, of close to $300,000 to $400,000. Discounted property. Now, the only segment that you see an increase here is the 5-bedroom luxury homes. I think this probably because the stats sometimes get skewed because there are a few of them, and just when a few of them get sold, obviously the stats data kind of shifts. So luxury homes in that segment were selling for about 1.9 million 3 months ago, and now at 2.5 million. Like I said, this could be that because there are few of those, and sometimes the data can be skewed. Yeah,
Absolutely. Like maybe a house just sold for $5 million, right? That would change the data.
that'll
And there's
change the
also
data.
less volume when it comes to luxury homes.
Luxury homes.
So data is more accurate with more volume. So when it
Yeah.
comes to these little sectors of the market where there's less transactions happening, you have to be very, very, with the data, you really have to pay attention, and you have to be discerning. You have to be very discerning.
Yeah, so move on to the townhomes. So again, townhomes, with the 2 bedrooms that used to sell for 916 are in about the 770 range. Okay, and the 3 bedrooms used to sell for 1.1 million, now at 930. So this is actually I think, very critical, because it brings in a whole bunch of home owners who were previously ineligible, now can be eligible, right? So generally what happens over the $1 million mark, you need to be giving 20% deposit. So for any home over $1 million or $1 million or over, you have to come up with the 20% deposit. Now, if the house is 930, you can still close with just a 10% deposit. Okay, so if somebody's got around 100K or 95K, with 2% closing cost, you can still close on a home that is around 930, 950, right?
Now, do you have any comments on the CMHC?
I mean, CMHC has been wrong in so many times and so many levels. They said that the price is going to go down only 5%, and we have seen in other cities a drop of at least 20%. Milton not so much, but there's still a drop. But I don't think so. House prices, will decline any further.
Now, what would you say to someone who's absolutely getting their starter home, maybe a young family with they're just having their first kid, maybe they have a pet? Like, would you recommend that they go into $1 million home in Milton?
I mean, it all depends on their budget, right? It all depends on their situation, right? So, at our office, we assess different, what is good for a particular family, right? Maybe it's not the $1 million home they need to get into. Maybe they could start off with the condo, right? Because that's where we're going to head out next. I'm going to show you what the condo stats are, right? Just to before I get there, 4-bedroom homes, 4-bedroom townhomes, 1.1 million, and they used to be selling for 1.3 million just 3 months ago, right? So you're getting a significant discount. Going to the condo, I would say a family just starting off, I think, can start off with the condominium, which are fairly affordable in Milton. So 2-bedroom condo, that used to sell for about 780 plus, and now is selling for about 639. Okay, so very affordable, right? $700,000, 2 bedrooms, and you don't need to take care of the lawn. Everything is taken care of for you. I think a young family would love that, right? My suggestion for a young family would be start off with a 2-bedroom condo, or sometimes even a 1-bedroom condo. If you if you have a really young one, maybe the 2-bedroom is ideal. But even if you're just a couple, maybe start off with a 1-bedroom, right? And you see that condos in Milton appreciate a lot as well. Like year over year, this number has gone 6% up. Year over year, this number has gone up actually 19%. Okay, so still somebody who bought the 2-bedroom condo last year has actually made like close to 19% or 20%. So my advice to a young family, that you described, would say go in with a 2-bedroom, and by next year or 2 years, you might see this also appreciating. So when this appreciates from 700,000 to from what I see from the history of Milton, is that you could go up to like 20%, because a year ago the same condo was selling for 620. Okay, now selling for 740. So maybe in a year or 2 years you get that appreciation. So from that appreciation, you can sell, or you can even just take out the equity and buy a detached home, or even a 3-bedroom townhouse, right? So I would say that's how you step up into the real estate ladder, right? Most people who are first-time homeowners, they want a dream home. I usually tell them that their first home is not going to be a dream home. You got to start somewhere small. Your thoughts on this?
Well, I invest in multifamily buildings, and I'm also developing a lot of multifamily buildings.
Yeah.
And I have a close friend of mine, and he builds condos, and we argue all the time. He advocates like for what he's looking for is condos, because he's trying to build his money quickly. And what I'm trying to do is plant as many seeds as possible and harvest over and over and over again. And I think that it's important to think long term. And I was a professional musician for 10 years. Like, that's not something that happens overnight. Like, you're sleeping on your friends' couches, you're up all the time, you're not getting paid very much. And then eventually, as your career grows, then you start playing bigger venues. And that's when the dream that we have growing up as kids starts to really manifest in your life.
Absolutely. And it's very similar to that real estate dream, right? Like you mentioned, you start playing small, you get popular, and then you go to the bigger venues. Same thing here. You need a foot in the door. You need to stop renting and buy something, get yourself into the real estate game. So whether it's a one bedroom or a two bedroom, get something.
Yeah.
Okay.
The return
You-
on investment on a deal that you don't do
yeah.
or a purchase that you don't make is always zero.
There you go. You got a very good analogy there, right? From music to real estate.
Well, they say that Nikola Tesla said if you want to know the secrets of the universe, you got to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And yourself being such an intelligent guy that's talking about statistics and numbers, it's all just numbers, right? Everything is measurable.
Everything is measurable, definitely. But you know what? We're all human, so there is an emotion side of it, and I want to address that as well. Like you want a home. It's a priceless feeling when you own something. Okay, whether it's a condo or a home, it's a priceless feeling. Okay, just getting up in the morning and you know that nobody can vacate you or evict you from this is your home, this is your castle, right? So the emotion aspect, we have to acknowledge that, although it's all numbers, but you need to I think address that human need for shelter, right, for protection, right? And if you are a family, whether it's a small home or a condo, I think that emotion side is fulfilled, and that's one of the things that every human needs, right? Is food, shelter, clothing, right? So shelter is a big part of it. I'm sure I won't let your viewers or audience down on that side as well. Although I'm a numbers guy, I will make sure that you are taking care of emotion side as well.
Absolutely love it. And I can totally see why people would want to work with you.
There you go. Okay, so let's go a little bit further on what we have in inventory for Milton. So right now, new listings, 442 listings, new listings in the last 28 days. So like I said, we have sold in Milton in the last 28 days about 110 homes. Average days on market is 17 days, which is still very good for the current market that we are in, because some of the other cities homes are not selling for like 2 months, right? So Milton still a hot place. So from the selling perspective, 70 days on the market, and we are selling close to the asking price, right? So 98% of the asking price. Most people are getting what they're asking. Okay, so that little detail there, and you see this big discrepancy right here in this graph. So these are the sales that are happening right here, and this is the inventory, right? We've got far too many homes right now on the market. So it's the perfect time for the buyers. You have a lot of choice. First of all, you have a lot of choice that you can take a look at and decide which home do you want. Like in January and February, basically homes were flying off the shelf, right? Like hotcakes. Like you used to go see a house, and before we put an offer together, it's already sold, right? At least you're not having that pressure, right? Where you're like, oh, am I going to get this house or not? This, you have a choice. You can decide and pick and choose what house you want, and you can negotiate the price, right? So what better time to be a buyer than now, right? Your thoughts on that from an investor perspective, Alec?
Well, always you can make money in any market. And if there's a lot of inventory, that leaves room to get creative. I'm a big fan of not tying my money up and creating a relationship with the seller and saying, especially if they're an investor themselves, and saying like, listen, what are you going to do with your money when I give it to you? What are you going to do? Why not just leave it in the property? I'll give you a really solid return and I'll take all the responsibility off your hands. And what's the worst thing that could happen? Right? What's the worst thing? You're going to end up with the property anyway if there's anything that goes
Absolutely.
array, because we can't predict the future. But what I love, and when I look at a market and I see that there's more inventory than sales, I know that I can get in there and find something that's going to serve my needs perfectly.
That's coming from the professionals, guys, from the investors. So lots of inventory on the market. So reach out to me. There are condos available, townhomes available, detached homes available, and like we said, they are right now at an all-time low, discounted prices. Lock in before the interest rates even hike up even more. Just yeah, comparison here on average days on market. So last year, same time, it was 14 days on market. Now this is the townhomes, basically 19 days on market, and last year 10 days on market on the 750 to $1 million range. Right now 14 days on the market, and the million to the 2.5 millions average days is 17 days on the market. So yeah, so like I said, inventory wise, we have a lot of inventory. So you see all these numbers here. So these are detached home numbers. So inventory is all-time high, like 32% rise in the new listings. This from last year to this year, we have lots of listings available right now. Okay, active listings in the market, and days on market, like I said, averaging about 17 to 18 days onto market, and we are selling closer to list. Closer to list price, averaging about 98% of the list price. And I think this data, I think, is most fun, and most of the audience looks up to this rankings data. So Milton is the 16th most expensive city in the GTA, 11th fastest growing, and 5th fastest selling, and 18% turnover. Okay, so 18th most expensive out of all these cities right here. So obviously King City is number one, followed by Mono, Caledon, Oakville, Richmond Hill, or Uxbridge, Vaughan, Markham, Stowell, East Goodsbury, Halton Hills, Market, Bradford, Toronto, and Milton. So Milton is 16th on the list, averaging 1.1 million price point, most expensive cities. 11th fastest growing, growth-wise. So it's growth-wise is basically the price growth in the change in the sale price from the same period last year. Okay, so it's 11th fastest growing. So if you invest in Milton today, you buy in Milton today, you won't be at a loss, because it is the fastest growing city, and more people want to stay in Milton. And in previous episodes, I've told why people want to stay in Milton, because it's close proximity to the big city like Toronto, and proximity to cities like Oakville, Burlington, and also proximity to the Tri-Cities, so Waterloo, Cambridge, Kitchener area as well. So there are lots of jobs in the Tri-Cities, and obviously lots of jobs in Toronto as well. So anybody who is in Milton is very well situated to get jobs in either Toronto or in the Tri-Cities, in the surrounding cities, and proximity to like cities like Brampton and Mississauga as well. Any thoughts on this, Alec, from your side?
Well, I think what's really interesting, because we are in a housing crisis, right, in Canada. There's more and more people coming into the country, and the GTA is probably, I don't want to say the most, but one of the most attractive areas in our country for immigrants, right? We have cultures from all over the world coming here. You want to have access to your languages, you want to have access to your food, you want to have access to your people, and help settle yourself and make roots in this new land. And it's just, there's so many good reasons for people to go into Milton. I think what's great about the internet and social media and videos like this is that anyone from any place in the world could see this video, and they could be looking and say, you know what, Milton makes sense for me.
So that was pretty much the data and hard facts.
Well, it's fantastic to see someone who knows what they're doing, right? Because obviously you are a salesperson, and there's this kind of stigma sometimes with salespeople. All you're trying to do is make money. And the way I see it as an investor, and of course we make tons of money, it's about providing value. And I love that you talked about emotions, because people do buy their home with emotions. Where I live on a 200-acre farm, it was not a great investment. This is not a great investment to park money here. I'm very happy to be here, but it's because I wanted to have space for my kids, right? And what the most important thing to me to talk about today is the fact that you are growing, you are moving forward in your career. You did talk about how you were in sales, and we're going to touch on that, but you are setting up a new brokerage. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. So we have now set up a brokerage. It's called Save Max Superstars. Anybody who is interested in joining us, DM me, contact me. My number will be in the description below. So yeah, it's a great time here. We are growing. I am looking to mentor new realtors, aspiring realtors, and experienced realtors. Right, anybody who wants to make a career in real estate can reach out to me. And also, we are definitely looking for people who want their first home, right, or want to sell their home. So we have very attractive packages for them. If you want to sell the home, or you want to buy the home, or even lease your home, right?
Well, absolutely. If your primary goal is to serve people and provide value, you absolutely want to grow your team and fill it with people who are coachable and teachable. Personally, I wouldn't be anywhere where I am in my life without mentors, coaches, leaders, managers, people who see the potential, they know how things work, and they're able to transmit that information clearly. And I'd love to get into a little bit, by the way, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're obviously set off on a very successful path, and I'm very happy to see it. But I'd love to learn more about how you got into real estate. You're obviously very focused on data and numbers. And did that start with real estate, or where does that come from? And how long were you in sales, and what types of things did you offer people?
Yeah, definitely. The very first job that I had in Canada was selling 2-for-1 oil changes. So knocking on doors, selling oil changes. Then I sold blinds, I sold furniture, I sold vacuums, I sold mattresses. I was in that like selling space, right? And then of course, like I said, because of the family pressure, went into IT and got my diploma in IT, and I did IT for about 14 years. And then, that salesperson in me was kind of telling me, what, you need to get back to sales. So I was back 5 years back into real estate. I became a realtor. And now I think taking it forward, establishing the brokerage, and looking forward to other people who want to get into real estate. I actually have a lot of friends who were in IT as well, who've transitioned into real estate. So if you are IT person watching this video, and you want a little bit more freedom for yourself, more money, more family time, contact me. Maybe real estate career is right for you, and I can guide you through. And a lot of other folks as well in different professions, right? Whether it is the stress level or the working conditions. I recently had a cop call me and said, hey, you know what? I want to get into real estate. I had a nurse call me and said, hey, I want to get into real estate. This is 12-hour shifts I'm doing. I hate it, absolutely. So if you hate your job or the conditions that you're working in, and you want to transition into a real estate career, definitely DM me, call me, and we can have that discussion on how I can help you transition. I have been a mentor and a coach for about 6 years, and I can basically mold you into this new profession. So definitely, reach out to me if you want that transition.
Absolutely. Building wealth takes time. In some cases, it doesn't, but it always takes, in my opinion, real estate. I haven't met a wealthy person to date that isn't involved, interested, and has real estate in their portfolio. And again, people, reach out to Waiz, right? Especially if you're in the Milton area. Right? As an investor, we invest in all markets. So that doesn't mean I have to be personally in the Milton area to want to talk to you and want to crunch numbers and see what we can get done, where we can make some money and we can add value to the market. Right?
Yeah.
But if you want to succeed, you have to have data. Yes, it's important. Emotions, and we talked about emotions, and we talked about single families, and we talked about people getting into their home. But as an investor, as someone who wants to grow and develop security for their family, especially in trying times with inflation and job security and things that are happening that people aren't happy about, it's important to know that of all the investment vehicles that exist, real estate is the safest, it's the most tried and true, and it's the way that people have built wealth for, I want to say forever.
Yes.
I don't want to speculate on time here. We don't even know how old the earth is, but like essentially, the point that I want to make to our viewers is that you're the perfect type of person that they want to reach out to, whether they're trying to buy a home, they're trying to learn about the market, They're trying to grow their career as a salesperson, or they're trying to invest. And I
Absolutely.
think I'm absolutely honored to be talking to you today. It's amazing what you've been able to do in a few years. It sounds like you might be an investor yourself.
Yes, I mean that's how the journey started, right? Me being an investor, silly me thought that I have to be a realtor to be an investor, but you don't have to be a realtor to be an investor. So if you're an investor, you don't need to be a realtor. Okay, you can just use a realtor like me or anybody else, and go on your journey, right? But I know that's the course of action I took, in the sense I became a realtor. But again, I started enjoying what I did, so that's the career choice. But yeah, if you're an investor, reach out to me. I specialize in conversion of single family homes into duplexes. I'll connect you with architects, contractors, etc. So that is so rewarding to an investor. So one of our investors took a duplex and made it into a triplex. So imagine the cash flow on something like that is just amazing, right? If you are an investor looking to do something like that, let me know. And if you're a first-time home buyer, which most people who are watching are, if you're renting currently and the rents have gone up significantly, if your rents have gone up significantly, you are paying $2,500 to $3,000 in rents. I think it's time for you to buy, and at least consider buying. And I can tell you how to save up for the down payment. What are the measures to do in order to save up for that 5% down? Because as a first-time home buyer, you can just buy a house with 5% down and also avail of the rebates. There's a first time home buyer rebate, and you could avail of your RRSPs. If you have money in your RRSPs, you can borrow that towards purchase of your home. Each spouse can borrow up to $35,000 from their RRSP to purchase their house. And we also talked about this in our previous episodes, is that use your early inheritance. So if you have parents or grandparents who are going to be eventually giving you an inheritance, ask them that, I don't need an inheritance when I'm 50, 60 years old. I need an inheritance now. Maybe you give me less, but give me now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you never know what's going to happen in the future. But when you put your money in real estate, it grows. And I think a lot of people should know that you can buy a duplex or a triplex, and sometimes as much as 4 or 5 units as a personal residence, as long as you live in it for a year. So it's a fantastic way to get into real estate, start building up equity, create a secondary source of income, and move your way up. Because one thing that you said that I love, which is you need to manage your expectations when you're getting into real estate. There's a lot of millennials, there's a lot of young people who are getting into real estate at this time, and they grow up their whole life thinking, I want to live in this area, I want to live in this type of home, right? And again, it's like, I want to perform in front of a bajillion people, and in order to do that, you have to earn your right. And
Absolutely.
in Canada, because we're in a housing crisis, there is a lot of competition, right? So figure out what your needs are, figure out what your priorities are, figure out what you really want, and then make those decisions from that foundation of self-awareness.
Couldn't agree more. Is that you have to be happy, and you have to be fulfilled. And like I said before, one of the key things that you're looking for is shelter, right? And get started. Have a conversation, and feel free to message me. I'm on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. 416-876-9960. I'm a very approachable guy, and I would love to just have a conversation, whichever situation you're in, whether you're a buyer, you're a renter, you're a seller, you're an investor. Let's have that conversation. And I also told you I'm hiring. So if you're considering real estate as a career, let's have those conversations. And don't feel that, that this person is, out of reach or something like that. There have been a few people who have called me, and we've had some great conversations. So I urge your listeners and audience to do that, so that we can build a good relationship, and let's get you into real estate.
Absolutely. I love that. And I love how accessible you're making yourself, because we are in an era of globalization. We don't know who's going to watch this video. We don't know where they're from. We don't know what they want. And personally, I want people to be able to reach out to me so I can connect them with people like you and provide them with the information they need so that they can succeed and live happy, fulfilled lives in Canada. You know, we're talking about the Canadian dream on the Canadian Real Estate Channel. And I'm very, very happy to meet you, Waiz. If there's anything else you want to say before we wrap this up, it would be my pleasure to hear it.
Okay, I guess if you haven't figured it out, see this caption right here. Life is a one-time offer. Don't waste it. So fulfill your dreams, fulfill your ambitions and your goals. Keep that rule number one.
Rule number one, you heard it from Waiz the man. Thank you for watching the Canadian Real Estate Channel, ladies and gentlemen. We had a great conversation. We got more to come. Connect with Waiz, connect with myself. Just hit that subscribe button, and bye, love ya.